Welcome everyone, this is your teacher Julian Marin. Today we're going to be reviewing Martes de Prueba number 4 for the 7th grade in the year 2026. Thank you very much for being here. Let's start by showing over here. I'm going to open a window where we can see the test. Okay, so it's right here. So as I have told you before, the first thing we need to do is to explore what kind of exercise we're going to solve. Over here, we have essentially a reading comprehension test. Let's remember that when we are working on reading comprehension tests, we need to focus on different elements on the information that is given. Let's remember also that we are exercising our critical reading abilities. This means we need to pay attention to what is said, how it is said, in which context, and also the explicit and implicit information that is given. Because the level of difficulty of the questions will require to ask about this type of information. So we better be ready for that situation. So first of all, we just have to read the exercise and then check the questions and the possible answers. So let's start with that. Let's start by reading the text. So over here it says, the false human belief. Long ago, a man went to the circus show. Before the show began, he saw that a lot of elephants were held by only a small rope tied to their front leg. The man suddenly stopped, confused by the fact such a thin yet small rope held that such huge creatures. There were no chains and no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could break away the ropes at any time from their bounds, but for some reason were not even trying. The man saw the elephant's trainer standing next to the elephant. He was curious to know why the elephants were not trying to escape from there. To this, the trainer told him that they were like this since the time they were very young. At that time, it was enough to hold them. As they grew up, they were conditioned to believe they could not break away. They believed the rope could still hold them. On hearing this, the man was completely shocked. He was looking at the elephants with pity, and he went away from there. Okay, so with this, we already have finished reading the text. And the next step is, while this information is still fresh in our memories, we're going to start looking at the questions, okay? So over here, we got questions 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Of course, the idea is that when you're checking, right, you're watching these videos, you are also looking at the text. Of course, for the reason of the size of the screen, I have to increase either to see the text or the questions. When it is possible to see both, we manage also to go back and explore in the text. Let's see if it is necessary, and also if we can do that as well. So over here we have question 21. According to the text, how were the elephants kept? Okay, so remember that when they say according to the text, what they're calling for us is to remember we are solving a critical reading exercise. That means we better stick to the information that is given. even if the information is implicit, okay? Let's not make predictions or guess or also use the previous information we have about a given subject. Just focus on the information that is given. And that is why they say according to the text. That is a reminder. And being an instruction, you better pay attention to that. So over here, I'm going to scroll down a little bit just to show you the text and the question. And the options they give are A, the elephants had a chain around their heads. Let's find this information is given explicitly. It says tied to their front leg. Okay, it is right here. So this, they don't mention heads. Okay, first of all, so we cancel A, the option A. B, they had a thin rope tied to their leg. This one fits more the information that is given. It says a thin, small, somehow they are emphasizing about the rope not being very strong, right? So this one is a good option. And C, the elephants were in the circus training for the show. So over here, this answer is not really the answer to this question. So that is why the only possible correct answer here will be option B. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So we continue. Okay, so I have to get out of here so we can scroll down. Okay, so let's scroll down and see question 22. How did the man feel when he saw the elephants? Let's see, we got options. A, jealous. B, outrage, which is a synonym of angry. And C, baffled, which is a synonym of confused, shocked, right? So the option that I will choose will be baffled, right? And let's look in the text. Confused is right here. Confused, shocked is a synonym of baffled. That is why I suggest option C. Okay, so let's continue scrolling down so we can see questions 23, 24, and 25. Over here, question 23. After seeing the elephants, who did the man talk to? That information is also given explicitly. Right here in the text, say the man suddenly stopped, confused. There were no chains. So he was curious to know why the elephants were not trying to escape from there. To this, the trainer, okay, over here. Wait. The man saw the elephant's trainer is right here. It's right here. The man saw the elephant's trainer standing next to the elephant. He was curious. So over here, what they're implying is that he approached him and he asked. So they mention explicitly the trainer. So for question 23, the answer will be the elephant's trainer, not the owner and not the circus presenter. Okay, very good. Let's see question 24. Why don't elephants escape from the circus if they are tied with a small rope around their feet? Okay, so we got three options here. A, because the elephants have been part of the circus all their lives. And if they escape, they will have nowhere to go. So this is a tricky answer because our common sense will say, yes, this is true. Yes, it is true, but this information is not given in the text. Okay, so that is why I suggest not to choose A. And they are challenging our reading comprehension and our critical reading specifically. B, because for years they have been trained to live in those conditions, tied to their heads, again, they mention heads, and legs. So over here, we should cancel B because, again, in a tricky way, they put a word there that is not mentioned just to check if you were really paying close attention to the text, to the information, and also to check your critical reading. That is why I would also think B is not a good option. So let's check C. Because since they were little, they have been tied and they grew up thinking that they could not break the rope. So essentially, this is paraphrasing the information that was given or the explanation that the trainer gave. So that is why I suggest that the correct option here will be C. Now, yes, again, C. And let's see the final question, that is 25. What is the setting of the story? So they're asking about the context. Where is the story happening, right? Essentially. So they give us three options: the zoo, the circus, and the jungle. So this one is explicit, and it is also a very easy question, only that you need to stay very focused. So the answer here will be B. So let's go back. Let's scroll. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see again the five questions, and remember which will be the correct ones. That will be for 21, B. For 22, C, baffled. For 23, trainer. For 24, C. And for 25, the circus. Okay, so with this, we have finished checking Martes de Prueba number 4 for the 7th grade in 2026. I thank you very much for watching. I will invite you to click on like, subscribe to the channel, share to your friends, and also promote so other people can benefit from this analysis and these reflections and these reviews. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in the future.